That guy Thunderfoot put out like a Elon Musk is basically a scammer video.
Scaminaire checklist based on name of famous inventor, eccentric tech stock billionaire, claiming God, this woman is so fucking weird. Oh, so weird. Both of those criticisms sound so fucking stupid, right? God, I hate that I'm not trying to defend Elon because fuck, I don't want to simp for fucking Tesla.
I believe honestly that if you had the amount of money that Elon Musk did, and I guess the connections he did, I think that you could have made just as good of an electric car company as he did. Oh, you know, there was a really good, I think you would like it. And actually, I think so much less of Elon Musk. Not that I really thought anything of him before. That guy Thunderfoot put out like a Elon Musk is basically a scammer video. I think it was today, and it's really well done. And one of the things that is so fucked up that I never realized was the case, and it's actually fucking crazy when you think about it. Do you remember when Elon Musk did the presentation of the Tesla? No, not the Cybertruck. The Tesla solar roofs.
Okay, what about it?
Do you remember that or no?
Not really, but what about it?
So he did this big presentation like he does other shit, and he's like, hey, you know, they're in a neighborhood, there's a bunch of houses all around them, and he's like, hey, listen, check out these fucking houses. Notice anything different? Yeah, all of these houses are powered right now by Tesla's new solar panel. It's all on the roof, you don't see it at all. And people are like, what? No way, that's fucking crazy. They're gonna... And he said all this shit like, yep, we're doing it today, we're gonna have them out in a year. And then he gets a fucking deposition about it. Apparently he was just fucking flat out lying. Like nothing existed. The shit on the houses was fake. Like he just completely bullshitted everyone. And it's not like he was like kind of doing a little bit of weasel words like, hey, this is what it's going to look. These are some demo houses. He just fucking lied. And apparently he's doing this like a lot. It's a really crazy video if you want to watch it. I think so much less of him at this point. And again, not that I thought so much more of him before. I've always just was like, okay, Elon Musk, just another, you know, tech douchebag like me trying to make money. But like, it's actually like a tremendous amount of like fake it till you make it, to the point now where everyone's like, oh yeah, all the data Tesla has, you know, that big fucking post on the Reddit. No, I don't think so. I actually don't. I think Tesla's shit. I don't think they have any meaningful data. I think they're probably just a way the fuck overvalued. That's it. There is nothing of value there. It's just an electric car company. But you should watch it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mind. Okay.
It won't blow your mind, but it's, you know,
well, you're saying it's crazy. Man. And it totally changed the way that you view Elon Musk.
I think it's criminal. Personally, I think it's criminal that as a CEO of a public company, you could lie to the press, like not in a cavalier way. Like I'm trying to think of an example. If fucking whoever the CEO of Apple is, if he came out today like, hey guys, guess what? Did you notice anything about this laptop right here that's running here? This laptop can go for fucking 3 months. It's a new battery we invented. 3 months full time. No bullshit. No kappa. It never stops. Okay? We did it. What about if that was just bullshit and didn't exist? There was no battery. Like, you know, when the stock price goes up and like, isn't that fucking just literally criminal? Like, what the fuck? How can you just do that?
Well, I mean, there's got to be some like clarifying things on their like sheets or whatever the reports that they give to investors and shit. They have to be honest about some of. They can't lie about that or they'd be sued like motherfuckers, right?
Well, I don't know, but apparently, like, it just doesn't fucking matter. You just like lie your way to the top, and no one fucking cares. And maybe you do like $1 million fine somewhere down the line. It's, God, it really rustles my jams.
Damn. I'm glad you're sticking up for consumers so much, Dan, and really looking out for them.
I'm just seeing how the public market's working, and the more I see, the more I'm not pleased. Chat, go watch the video, all right? Or wait for Destiny to watch it someday. TM.
Daddy Destiny, true. Dan recommended a video about Elon Musk on stream today, how his products are a scam. I went in really interested, maybe the most dog shit, uneducated take on business and attempted analogies. Destiny should review for sure. Uh-oh. Scaminaire checklist based on name of famous inventor, eccentric tech stock billionaire, claiming to save the planet, makes wild claims, delivers tokens. Oh no.
Was named after. And sure, just like Elizabeth Holmes and Trevor Milton, Elon Musk is an eccentric tech stock billionaire who claims to save the planet. But there's no way you can compare the wild claims and delivering tokens of Nikola to a Tesla, right? Or is there?
The convoy technology, the tracking technology, this is something that we are confident we can do today 10 times safer than a human driver. So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now.
And today on Vaporware Challenge, we have the Nikola One, unveiled 2nd of December 2016, promised production by 2020, versus the... Elon Musk was just named Time Magazine Person of the Year because, among other things, he's the richest man on the planet. Well, yeah, count Theranos-style valuations as real cash anyway. Theranos, just so you know, was a scam.
I remember reading an email from the father of a little girl. He talked about taking her to the hospital and watching as they stuck her soft tissue again and again in the search for what he called the tiny, invisible vein.
Yeah, and I should probably caution you at this point that just because someone is saying something that sounds good doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be true.
I remember watching elderly people whose veins collapse as they age, having to get blood drawn from their hand, which can cause so much suffering.
After all, if you want to sell someone magic beans, you've got to convince them that the beans are very magical.
What she could figure out was that it would likely cost her a few $1,000s to get these tests done. I'll remember all my life the face of a pregnant woman who showed up at one of our locations, and she'd been turned away from the other places she'd gone because she couldn't afford. When she saw the cost of her tests would be a little more than the cost of a meal.
Destiny Plus Chatter is an extension to put dislikes back on YouTube. Merry Christmas.
Gratitude on her face struck my heart.
It's so philanthropic to have someone so dedicated to saving mankind like this, especially such an eccentric genius billionaire.
We've made it possible to run comprehensive laboratory tests from a tiny sample or a few drops of blood that could be taken from a finger. And we've made it possible to eliminate the tubes and tubes of blood that traditionally have to be drawn from an arm and replaced it with the nanotainer.
Using their machine called the Edison, named after the famous inventor Thomas Edison. And their company at its peak was worth some $9 billion.
The company that she started at 19 is valued at $9 billion. You own over 50% of it, right? Congratulations on that.
God, this woman is so fucking weird. Oh, so weird. She like obsessively tried to model herself after Steve Jobs, like wearing those shirts and the demeanor. Like, oh my God. Oh God. Ugh.
Based on the optimistic timelines. Elizabeth time, as they called it.
This is what happens when you work to change things. And first they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world.
And then went to being worth $0.
Forbes magazine has downgraded the net worth of Elizabeth Holmes from $4.5 billion to nothing.
Because it turns out optimistic timelines are very good for inflating valuations, not so good for turning a profit. Now, of course, Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of Theranos, is on trial for fraud. But one of the things that counts most in her defense here is that she didn't profit off Theranos. That is, when the company was fully pumped up on the hype, she didn't sell shares and make a profit out of the fraud. Not quite as true with Trevor Milton, the founder of Nikola, named after the famous inventor Nikola Tesla. They too had optimistic timelines about making hydrogen-powered trucks with batteries that were next generation.
Nikola forming a strategic partnership with General Motors this morning. Nikola Badger will be engineered and manufactured by GM.
Amazing tech that would blow Tesla away.
For those who bravely stand at the crossroads of innovation and enterprise. For those who are prepared to give our children a moral compass and not just a roadmap.
It's so touching to have an eccentric tech stock billionaire so dedicated to saving mankind like this.
For those who wish to leave the planet better than it was when we found it.
And for a while, these optimistic timelines made Nikola, a trucking company who at that point hadn't actually made a working truck, more valuable than any truck manufacturer in America.
For those who dare to reinvent. For those who dare to reimagine.
Hindenburg Research put out a report yesterday accusing Nikola of being an intricate fraud.
And the hits have just kept on coming.
Trevor Milton, the founder of electric truck company Nikola, is voluntarily stepping down as executive chairman and giving up his board seat.
With the SEC and the DOJ now both reportedly looking into Nikola, and the company's deal with GM uncertain, what does the future hold for the one-time Wall Street darling?
Good, so we've got a lot of common features of these scamillionaires, you know, that they're based on names of famous inventors, they're eccentric tech stock billionaires, they claim to save the planet, and they make wilder claims and they deliver tokens. But there's no way you could claim that's true of Elon Musk. I mean, sure, his company Tesla is named after Nikola Tesla, that's the same famous inventor that Nikola was named after. And sure, just like Elizabeth Holmes and Trevor Milton, Elon Musk is an eccentric tech stock billionaire who claims to save the planet. But there's no way you can compare the wild claims and delivering tokens of Nikola to a Tesla, right? Or is there?
The convoy technology, the tracking technology, this is something that we are confident we can do today 10 times safer than a human driver. So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now.
And today on Vaporware Challenge, we have the Nikola One, unveiled 2nd of December 2016, promised production by 2020, versus the Tesla Semi, revealed about a year later in December 2017, promised delivery date 2019. Who will claim the title of Peak Vaporware? And just so we're clear that both of these products qualify for Vaporware Challenge, it's now nearly 2022, and there is no sign that either of these amazing new revolutionary electric trucks that will completely change the way that we think about trucking exist. None. Let's see if we can materially distinguish between Trevor Milton, the guy on trial for fraud, and Elon Musk's presentation, made about a year later.
Welcome to the Tesla Semi truck event. I hope you like what you see.
You will have a chain on the seats to prevent people from coming in just for the safety. I don't want someone to end up doing something and driving this truck off the stage. But this thing fully functions and works, which is really incredible.
Yes, that is truly incredible, given that later reports would say...
According to a report published by Bloomberg earlier this year, the truck that Nikola showed off to the crowd in December of 2016 was not only inoperable, but it also lacked components, including gears, motors, and the hydrogen fuel cell to power the...
Okay, real quick. So, Elon Musk has a lot of dog shit ideas that are probably never going anywhere. That's probably true. But I don't think the valuation of Tesla is based on these crazy, stupid pet project ideas that Elon Musk brings to stage. I think most of it has to do with the actual Tesla cars that are already being manufactured and sold in the United States, and then the future promise of that technology. It's not very fair to compare some vaporware bullshit ideas that Elon has to entire companies that were based around products that didn't exist. Theranos had nothing. They had one product that they were trying to market, and it was a fraud. It sounds like these other examples they're giving are also one product and they're a fraud, you know?
The vehicle.
I don't want someone to end up doing something and driving this truck off the stage.
I'm going to tell you about everything that this truck can do. It blows my mind. I think it'll blow yours.
And Tesla's Vaporware opens strong with another presentation that will blow your mind.
It blows my mind. I think it'll blow yours.
ETA and destinations of all of our stations and reroute them. I mean, it's a full smart computer. It's pretty incredible.
And it'll seamlessly integrate with all the fleet systems, the things that are really important.
So will this system be installed in all of the trucks that should be coming online in 2020?
Every one of them.
Everyone. So
Pod made the bold claim that Fallout 4 just worked.
All of this just works. It works. It actually works perfectly.
Everything just works. The moment you get the truck, it's got everything.
Yeah, that's right. The moment you get the truck, which will be in 2 years' time and has been for several years.
That's 1,000 horsepower is double what any other production truck, for the most part, is running on the road.
Starting with performance. So we have an acronym we came up with. We want a vehicle that feels incredible, that accelerates like nothing else.
That's what's so cool, yeah.
So that'll propel this thing from 0 to 60 in 30 seconds, right?
Under full load.
On the left, the thing that looks like it's not moving is a diesel truck. Just gonna give it a moment. What it's like to be in a Tesla truck. This is real time. Okay.
Boom! And Elon Musk knocks the Vaporware ball right out of the arena with one of the lamest PowerPoint presentations ever, with the idiotic crowd cheering like idiots, and not one of them thinking, why are we looking at this dumb presentation? Isn't that thing sat behind him meant to be an actual working truck? Why didn't they just show us it working? Oh yeah, that's right. They'll show us it working in 2 years.
The same will be true of the Tesla.
Hold on. Yes, Tesla is always late on delivering, but they do always deliver. Theranos never delivered. So what I said earlier was right. What you're saying is not necessarily right. I don't think Tesla always delivers. I think Elon Musk takes a Google approach to things, where he's got a few products that are working really, really well, but then he has a whole bunch of other projects that just seem to go fucking nowhere, I think.
Tesla Semi. You'll be able to travel anywhere in the world on the Tesla Megacharge network.
They're going to be able to go to the Nikola fuel stations, hydrogen stations.
Yeah, we'll have 364 of these stations going up around the country, both in the USA and Canada, and any hydrogen vehicle can fill there.
5 years later, there are no hydrogen fuel stations available to the public. Boom! Vaporware.
And that means we can guarantee the electricity rates, because these will be solar-powered megacharges that charge to a Tesla power pack. It's 24/7. Guaranteed low electricity.
And guaranteed to exist in another 2 years, because as of this year, there are no Tesla megachargers available to the public, let alone solar-powered ones.
For too long, we've asked the movers who make our dreams possible to depend on outdated technology. Technology that compromises the planet we work so tirelessly toward perfecting.
If you're fueling a diesel truck, you've got fumes, spills, toxic environment.
For too long, we've asked them to sacrifice their health and their safety so we can have better access to the things that give our lives meaning.
Every truck we sell will have enhanced autopilot as standard. Okay.
And here we are, 5 years on, and while Tesla does have a product called Autopilot, it doesn't have a product that functions as Autopilot. Indeed, in Germany, where Tesla advertised Autopilot as Autopilot. The German courts ruled that this was misleading people into thinking that Tesla Autopilot was actually capable of piloting the vehicle, rather than just some sort of glorified cruise control. And therefore they banned Tesla from calling it Autopilot. And in the 5 or so years since this presentation, Elon Musk's geniuses transformed Autopilot into Tesla full self-driving that comes with the release note. Autopilot and full self-driving capabilities are intended for use with a fully attentive driver who has their hands on the wheel and is prepared to take over at any moment. You know, full self-driving. While these features are designed to become more capable over time, you know, like in maybe 2 or so years, current enabled features do not make the vehicle autonomous. Like we said, full self-driving. And we at Tesla are keen not to do anything that would artificially inflate our stock price, like putting a demonstration on our website that violates all of the safety rules associated with Autopilot, like putting up a video saying the person in the driver's seat is only there for legal reasons. He is not doing anything. The car is driving itself, and I'm sure his hands will be on the wheel the whole time. Yeah, right. That's the way to gamble with other people's lives with a system that, according to Tesla themselves, might do the wrong thing at the worst time. Hey, here's a good idea.
Wait, hold on. This video is dog shit. Wait, is this the video that Dan was persuaded by? Even in cars with advanced cruise control, you have to keep your hand on the wheel. My car was basically, I don't want to say fully autonomous, but my drive north to, in Sweden when we went skiing, that Volvo I was in was basically like autonomous. But you still had to put your hand on the wheel every minute. But you could basically sleep. The cruise control kept your distance. I think it even stopped and started for you at fucking, if there was a car in front of you. It had lane control guidance, so it would always stay in the center lane. So I was basically like sleeping with my hand on the wheel because this motherfucker would maintain speed, appropriate distance, and the lane control like the entire way down. It was a super easy drive. Calling it autopilot is a little bit silly, but I don't know how much of this is for legal/liability reasons versus how much is like technologically restrained.
And we put that on a truck.
What about red light stop signs? I don't think someone can tell me, do Volvos look at red lights or stop signs? I don't think so.
This is a massive increase in safety.
If there was people out there that could have done this, they would have done it. Peterbilt, you know, these other brands, you know, you look at Daimler, Volvo, no one's ever done this. They said it's impossible.
Now, a Tesla truck considered by itself beats other diesel trucks.
We're really an energy technology company. We're now cheaper to drive than a diesel is per mile, and we make 5 times the revenue of our competitors.
What this means is it's not just economic suicide to use one diesel truck, it's economic suicide for rail. This beats rail.
Oh, I love the smell of fresh vaporware. Well, 2017 vaporware anyway.
The convoy technology, the tracking technology, this is something that we are confident we can do today 10 times safer than a human driver. So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now.
Now that is a masterclass in how to lie without even the slightest hint of remorse.
So, and that's I think really quite profound. We're confident that this is a product that's better in every way from a feature standpoint, that wins on economics against diesel trucks in a worst case scenario, and that defeats rail in a convoy scenario.
So you have had a lot of attention on this. You said last night 4 billion people, or $4 billion.
Yep.
So
we just passed $4 billion.
Is that for your leases? Because your lease is $1,500.
And production begins 2019. So if you order now, you get the truck in 2 years. All right.
Okay, so nothing you heard there was actually delivered on, which is pretty impressive, since Elon Musk promised a statement of fact that if you ordered the truck now, which was in 2017, you would get the truck by 2019.
And production begins 2019. So if you order now, get the truck in 2 years.
Right. Wait, did anybody ever order the Cybertruck? Do they do pre-orders on these things? I would never pre-order an Elon Musk thing. It seems like shit takes so long.
And it's now about 3 years after 2019. And there's still no sign
if
of
a long turn his business into a co-op underfoot would think his products are amazing.
Wow, cool.
There's no super acceleration, there's no mega chargers, and in any event, most of this was absolutely pointless. Electric motors provide very good acceleration, but that's not actually very important for the trucking industry. The bottom line is that battery-powered vehicles are supremely poorly suited for long-distance transport, because the batteries are big and heavy, and that displaces cargo, and also they take a long time to charge. Now, Milton, of course...
Both of those criticisms sound so fucking stupid. What...
heavy, and that displaces vehicles are supremely poorly suited for long-distance transport because the batteries are big and heavy, and that
there's a term I'm looking for, and I don't know. As an engineer, a mechanical engineer, I know this. something being heavy doesn't determine whether or not it's good or not. There's like a, is it like a size to thrust ratio, or there's like a way that you would measure, like, if this thing weighs like 2 times as much, but it can travel you like 10 times the distance, it being heavy is not a criticism, right? That's not a legitimate criticism of the thing. Maybe energy density. I thought there's a more specific mechanical engineering term for this. But like so that in and of itself isn't necessarily good to treat something being heavy, right?
Displaces cargo, and also they take a...
In terms of displacing cargo, I mean, if they're more efficient, theoretically you could make bigger trucks or something, no? I don't know what the weight limits on the highways are.
Long time.
But I mean, like, I imagine, like, if you're trying to make stuff, like these are all hurdles that you're looking to overcome as well, no?
Charge. Now, Milton, of course, did cash out the best part of $1 billion from this company based on data.
Oh, power to weight ratio might be the thing I'm thinking of.
Timelines, which is why he's now under investigation for securities fraud. Now, with all of these companies, there is no sensible way to justify their valuation. There's lots of slick promises in that Theranos did actually do blood tests. They had multi-million-dollar buildings and research facilities, but they mostly just ended up delivering standard blood tests, and none of the unicorn technology that was promised was ever delivered on. Tesla currently makes about 2% of the cars. Unicorn technologies and slick promises. All of these companies, there is no sensible way to justify their valuation. There's lots of slick promises in that Theranos did actually do blood tests.
Theranos did nothing novel. That was my understanding. They pretended to do tests on a machine, but they just sent it off to normal labs. So Theranos didn't deliver on anything. I don't think they contributed any new research, or they didn't have any novel ideas or anything that ended up working. That was my understanding.
They had multi-million-dollar buildings and research facilities, but they mostly just ended up delivering standard blood tests, and none of the unicorn technology that was promised was ever delivered on. Tesla currently makes about 2% of the cars in America as a luxury brand that will never make it into the mass market. So why is Tesla worth about as much as all of the other automakers in America put together? Well, you might argue that Tesla is an amazing breakthrough energy company with revolutionary new solar and battery divisions. Well, not really. There is absolutely nothing special about their solar panels, and their batteries are made by Panasonic. In this sense, Tesla isn't so much a revolutionary new energy company.
We're really
Okay, fuck. Okay, Thunderfoot is a science guy. He's not an engineer, and he has no mind for business, okay? Okay, people do this shit all the time, okay? Go be a trillionaire, all right? Go be a trillionaire. People will say something like, wow, you've made a device. Congratulations. You don't make the screen. It's made by that company. Wow, you outsourced that to that. Oh, wow, you did that to, oh, wow, you did that to, oh, okay, you put together this product that has like 9%. Okay, well then go do it yourself, you fucking moron. If it's so easy to just take like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 disparate technologies and throw them together and make some ultra successful product, then why don't you go fucking do it, right? God, I hate that I'm not trying to defend Elon, because fuck, I don't want to simp for fucking Tesla. Obviously, that company's overvalued like a motherfucker, okay? But not for reasons related to this. Not because they're promising to make fucking semi-automatics. Not because they're promising to make huge fucking trucks or whatever. That's not why the company's overvalued. This criticism that like, oh, well, they're not doing anything new, blah, blah, blah. Who the fuck was doing electric cars before Tesla? There was like 1 or 2. Was it the Volt or the Leaf? There were like 1 or 2 garbage hybrids that nobody fucking drove. I don't remember. There were cars that nobody cared about, right? Regardless of what you think about Elon Musk or Tesla or anything like that, regardless of what you think about anything like that, the Tesla cars are pretty successful in terms of bringing electric cars to like mainstream American audiences. Nobody thought about electric cars that much before Tesla. That's just a fact. Before Elon Musk. Whether you like that or not, or whether you think he's a weird dude or shitty or a billionaire or whatever capitalist bullshit we're gonna do, right? Why do you say Tesla's overvalued? Because the underlying fundamental value of that company is nowhere near as high as the stock price, and the future valuation is just a huge fucking gamble based on technologies that you hope they'll turn out in the future. It's almost certainly true, okay? Now, obviously, the valuation of a stock isn't only going to be based on the fundamentals, but it's also, you're trying to figure out like future cash flows and everything as well. But like, it's probably a huge gamble. I don't know if the Tesla company is worth more than every other fucking car company in America combined. I think most reasonable people are like, yeah, the company's probably overvalued right now, but people are always looking for big breakthroughs. And keep in mind, the value of a stock, okay, is worth as much as anybody will pay for it. So if everybody thinks something is worth $1,000 a share, then God damn it, it's worth $1,000 a share, right? but it's probably overvalued for what it quote unquote should be, like in an ultra efficient market or whatever. But
technology company.
It's a battery and solar installation company. There is nothing there to justify this sort of valuation. In fact, if you give Tesla a valuation more on a par with a typical automaker, a realistic valuation, then you're looking at Tesla's value dropping by 1 to 2 orders of magnitude. And seeing
1 or 2 orders of magnitude? Like what? Okay.
Elon Musk's wealth is actually in Tesla stock.
Destiny, if it was so obviously overvalued, wouldn't the market react to that? It's hard, okay? Markets are very efficient, and a lot of people are acting. There's never going to be easy money to make in a market. So there are a lot of people that try to short Tesla. Elon Musk fucking hates them. There's a reason why Musk is on fucking Twitter all the time talking about how evil short sellers and shit are. Because people try to short the fuck out of his company all the time, and he's worried that the stock value is going to drop. But there's also people who think that, like, hey, listen, this is worth a lot of money. Like, look at GameStop. Everything about this was like dumb as fuck. This stock still trades for an order of magnitude higher than it was before. Wasn't this $15 a share a year ago? And it still trades for $150 a share. That's insane. It's insanely overvalued. But why does the price stay up here? Well, because people think that someone else will buy it, right? That's how stocks work. Stocks are bought and sold based on what people think other people will buy and sell them for. That's how everything in a capitalist market is valued, you know?
Also be looking at his wealth dropping by 1 to 2 orders of magnitude. Well, at least he didn't do like Milton and cash out loads of his stock based on this massively inflated stock value pumped up by empty promises. Optimistic timelines. Oh. You know, things like this,
but this thing fully functions and works, which is really incredible,
are really no different than things like this.
We can do today 10 times safer than a human driver. So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now.
But before we get into that, let's take a look at the other amazing companies that Time magazine had associated with Elon Musk. Well, let's do it historically, starting with Zip2, which was certainly Musk. It was basically the Yellow Pages online, and it was purchased at the height of the dot-com bubble by Compaq, which made Elon Musk a pretty penny, and the dot-com bubble burst shortly afterwards. So the only reason Elon Musk made a load of money out of this is because people were spending money like crazy in the dot-com boom. PayPal? What? Seriously? PayPal? Elon Musk never actually worked at a company called PayPal. He started a company called X.com, which is not a porn website, but an email payment company. And within a year or so, the investors saw Elon Musk as inexperienced and replaced him. Meanwhile, PayPal was a product of a company called Confinity, and at the time they were more popular than X.com, and so the companies merged. Now, in short order, Elon Musk first ousted the CEO of PayPal, only for the board, because of Elon Musk's lack of technological issues and cohesive business model, to oust Musk and replace him with the original CEO of PayPal. The company later changed its name from Confinity to PayPal. And while Musk had been fired before this, he kept his shares, which later, after those who fired him made the company worth over $1 billion, he cashed out his shares and instantly became a multimillionaire. So what was the tech genius's role in PayPal? Well, let's see, he got fired, and someone else made the company worth a lot of money. Let's do the boring company next. They promised to make hyperloops, and years later, nothing. They promised high-speed underground networks.
You could soon hitch a ride in Elon Musk's first traffic tunnel. He unveiled this video showing platforms. Yeah, it is awesome.
It is.
They act like elevators, and they carry pods to an underground series of tunnels. Those pods could carry 8 to 16 passengers or a single passenger vehicle at speeds of more than 120 miles per hour. And the pedestrians and cyclists, well, they would get first priority.
That is great.
I mean, you can think of these like wormholes. Like, oh, I need to get to the other side of...
What?
My computer is turned off. I don't know why.
Oh, God.
What?
That sounds like it's going to be a complicated problem. Hold on 1 second, right back.
LA or New York, whatever, drop down the wormhole, pop out the other side.
And years later, rather than having automated pods driving people around, they have slow-moving cars driving in tunnels.
I've sold monorails to Brockway, Ogdenville, and North Haverbrook, and by gum, it put them on the map.
It's a joke on every conceivable level.
Has anybody brushed a wall yet?
Yeah, there's been a couple people that have.
Well, good. Knock on wood, right? It just seems so close. Kind of crazy.
Although now the drivers have been banned from discussing crashes and must tell passengers how awesome, supportive, and inspiring Elon Musk is. Neuralink promised telepathy and delivered pigs grunting. It's all stuff that had been done years before by real bioimplant companies. Solar City is where it gets really scammy. The timelines become outrageously optimistic. For this, we're going to take a look at the words of Elon Musk under oath, and just to see how much we should trust Elon Musk when he says he can do something now. And I really can't thank the common sense skeptic enough for doing this series of Musk on trial. You see, Tesla bought Solar City, and Musk, being part of both of them, had to legally recuse himself from the purchase. The only thing was, he didn't really. You see, SpaceX had propped up Solar City by buying bonds in the company. Bonds purchased with money given to SpaceX by the US government. Problem was, if Solar City went bust, then those bonds would be worth nothing, and SpaceX would go down too. And Solar City was just about to go broke. SolarCity was a solar installation company, a solar rental company, that sort of thing. And financially, they were on their last legs. By making Tesla buy SolarCity, mostly with Tesla stockholders' money. His shares in SolarCity would suddenly go from being worth basically nothing to whatever the Tesla shareholders would pay for them.
Decided to move up this product launch to early November, putting it just before the scheduled shareholder vote. This communication from Musk also states, in Musk's own words, latest feedback from major investors is very negative on SolarCity.
That reminds you, unplug your computer and exit.
We need to show them what an integrated product looks like.
And this is one of the reasons why he was meant to legally recuse himself from the whole process, but instead went full out to try and convince the Tesla shareholders that they should buy a company for $3 billion that was just about to go broke. And that's why Elon Musk was on trial. And it's where we learned all the juicy bits, like SolarCity had consistently failed to turn a profit, had some $3 billion worth of debt, and didn't have enough cash to meet its obligations. Come on, think, Elon, think. If SolarCity goes down, it takes SpaceX's cash with it, and all the shares that I have in SolarCity will be worthless. Come on, think. What's the best way to part suckers from their money? I mean, surely they won't fall for vaporware again.
The houses you see around you are all solar houses. I don't know if you know that. Did you notice?
Quoting Barron directly, and what you did then is a series of things. You first presented that product at the back lot of Desperate Housewives. You put a bunch of tiles that look like solar roofs on the top of the houses in order to show people what the roof would look like, correct? Those were not working models for roof. Those were just mock-ups, correct?
So we're going to show you, this is the before shot of that house over there. Now,
They had solar cells on them, so you could. It actually was, I think, very effective in doing it. You could have a solar roof tiles, solar glass roof tiles with solar cells on the backside that negatively affecting the aesthetic, which is very important.
Those were not working models for roof. Those were just mock-ups, correct?
So we're going to show you, this is the before shot of that house over there. Now that's all solar.
But they were not working models. They were just models. They were not working models. They were still in the idea phase, as you just said. To which Musk replies, they're for demonstration of the aesthetics, which was the primary thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mislead you into thinking these were actually solar roofs?
The houses you see around you are all solar houses. I don't know if you know that. Did you notice?
We've made it possible to run comprehensive laboratory tests from a tiny sample or a few drops of blood.
Oh, she tried to deepen her voice too. That's why she sounds a little bit weird when she's talking sometimes. She makes her voice artificially deeper to be more like Steve Jobs or some shit.
It could be taken from a finger.
So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now.
This isn't just a pusher like a lot of vehicles that they unveil are just vehicles that don't actually function. It's a fully functioning vehicle, which is really incredible.
That house is also solar, and that's a sort of a style of a French slate, which is one of the hardest things to do. It's what the French slate hydrographic looks like. The third house is really transformative. From the vantage point of the street, it looks completely opaque, but as the angle changes, it goes from transparent to opaque. Most surprising one is the Tuscan glass. All of the dark tiles have solar panels.
So here we are, about 5 years after Elon Musk told the Tesla shareholders that they expected to be doing solar roofs in volume in 2017.
Transcription of a shareholders meeting held 2 weeks after this presentation, where Musk stated, we expect to start doing solar roofs in volume somewhere near next year. Again, Barron calls this statement what it was, flat out false. There is no way with an idea that is in existence in the third quarter of 2016 that you would be starting doing solar roofs in volume by 2017.
5 years after it was going to be everywhere. And it's a trickle at best. The vaporware promised that it was going to be cheaper and better. Well,
that is better than a normal roof. That looks better. We're confident that this is a product that is better in every way from a feature standpoint. Lasts longer, has better insulating effect, that wins on economics against diesel trucks in a worst case scenario, and where the cost of roof plus electricity is less than that of a normal roof. And that defeats rail in a convoy scenario. It's really not that complicated. And production begins 2019. So if you order now, get the truck in 2 years. All right.
And the only thing that we know about the new solar roof that they're trying to install is that it's much...
What's up, Danny Dan?
Hey.
How you
So
doing?
that was the main, the part that you just watched. I didn't give a shit about the rest of it, but that thing, I don't know, it just seemed fucked up. Like, obviously, companies overpromise and shit, but, like, I try to imagine it, like I said yesterday, if the CEO of fucking Apple came out, and he was like, this laptop you see over here, yeah, 6 months battery life. Yeah, today. That's what it is. It just seems like, it seems like beyond legal to do shit like that. It's not like, you know, you're saying, hey, we're working on this, we're going to have it soon. It's actually like you're just flat out fucking lying, like completely across the board when people and pensions and things like that are putting their...
Maybe I'm just jaded, but isn't this kind of standard for the tech world?
I don't think I've ever seen something where someone says, hey, this is it today. It's
video games. Like, Do you remember the PlayStation 2 bathtub?
How far back in time are we going here? I'm not saying that people haven't done
Jesus
fucked up things.
Oh wait, it's a video game. It's okay. Okay, the PlayStation 2, wasn't there like a rubber ducky demo? This thing, was it the PlayStation 3? Oh no, they made fun of the PlayStation 2 one.
Did in real time on PlayStation.
There, people like were saying that like every single tech demo ever, there's like, oh, this is real time graphics generated by the PS3 that we can do in real time, and like none of these tech demos were ever even remotely true. You know, like
Thunderfoot.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty standard in like tech world shit.
Video.
I think there's a
this isn't
pretty
his best
significant
video,
difference. I
but
would
he's
say
pretty knowledgeable
in,
when it comes to mechanics and chemistry.
You know, for instance, like you're putting out a demo of Crisis, and at the bottom you say like pre-rendered scenes or whatever. If you don't do that, I think that's fucked up. But I think that this is next fucking level. Like you're out there basically for that event. I believe it was entirely just to pitch solar roofs. You understand what I'm saying? Like that that thing was literally just to do solar roofs. He went out there. He says, "Hey, you know, this is..."
Yeah, that seems weird. I've kind of like, I guess I'm a little bit jaded where I'm like, this is all bullshit. I don't believe it until I see it. But it does seem weird that like you can gas up like the valuation of a company basically on what is essentially complete and utter bullshit.
No, just like fraudulent, like untruths. Like, I mean,
it's just complete and utter bullshit.
What's the difference? Yeah, I mean, what would be the difference? For instance, let's say I had a public company. I went out and I did a press run and said, "Hey, listen, I know that we sell widgets, but believe it or not, I've created the first working mass perpetual energy machine. This thing right here, we're going to sell it for $10. It produces 150 megawatts, right? Like that is fraudulent, right? Something that would raise the price of my stock based on bullshit, an idea, right? Something that does not exist, something I think can exist but doesn't. That would be, I would probably go to jail. Would you agree with that? If like I started selling stock?
I don't know what the fucking SEC rules or whatever are, maybe. But yeah, that seems fraudulent.
To me, that seems unbelievably fucked up. That someone could come out and say, this exists, and have it not exist, have it just be an idea. Because it's not like, hey, we're working on this, we think it's going to be this. He presented it not at all.
Yeah, every time Elon presents an idea, it's like a trademark of his that he'll give like this is already working and we're ready to mass produce in 2 years tops, and that's like never even remotely close to true. I don't even know if they've got production scaled up yet to what they want for like the fucking for the actual cars yet.
But anyways, I mean, he goes into other shit. It's mostly that. It's mostly obviously like Tesla make cars. I'm not naive to that. I just thought that if someone was willing to do something to that level, and I think the only reason we know there was such bullshit is because he got dragged into a deposition as a result of it. Otherwise, we'd never know. But the fact that he came out on stage and said, these houses around you are solar houses. This is something we have today, and we're going to start installing it this year. I think the fact that that came out is fucking crazy, and it says something a lot about someone who would just lie to that level, right? Not having any idea, just saying, hey, listen, we could probably make solar tiles, right? I could say the same thing, like solar panels, they can go on tiles, why not? It just seems fucked, that's all.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Okay.
I thought Elon was always like known for this shit. I didn't know this is like a big
No, I
surprise
don't think
for you.
that Elon is known for that. I think there's...
Didn't people... hold on. I feel like you're rose tinting. Like, how long? Weren't there like multiple years and delays and everything related to getting like every new version of the Tesla car out? I feel like I've heard about Tesla cars since... I was in college, maybe? Was it way back in like 2009? Yeah, but I mean, like you hear like, oh, they're ready to go, production ready, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, it's still like years away from like even more than 10 of these being on the road, no?
Well, no, because I feel like this is different because there it's like plausible. Like, he probably I think he actually did have working cars when he said that shit. For instance, like he goes out, like when he came out with a working demo of the Model S, like I'm not faulting the guy saying, hey, listen, we're hoping... we're planning on launching this year, or this year this will be ready, but then like other shit comes up. This was a product that did not exist, okay, that they thought they could make, and they still do not have to this day, based on as is described. That to me is more fucked up and more egregious than, hey, see this working product here that I drove on the fucking stage that works, that I made, we're going to mass manufacture it. That's very fucking different than, hey, I think we can do perpetual motion, and I did this type of thing. It's just so... like, I don't know, that was just, like, it says a lot about someone that was the case, you know what I mean? And as far as someone saying you can buy a solar roof today, I think it's incredibly different product than what he pitched completely. Because I looked into getting one because I just redid my roof, and it's nowhere near what that product is in the slightest.
Do solar roofs still take like fucking 30 years to become like cost effective versus just?
I didn't look into. I was just like I wanted to have like a hurricane proof roof, and that was supposed to be one of them, but yeah, it's just not the case.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean that was it. I just think there's certain things with people that they'll do something, and then you learn a lot of insight as a result of that one thing happening. I'm not saying he hasn't done it, but it also is like this is a guy who is willing to fake it till he makes it, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So the question is, Steven.
I feel like this has like been like par for the course for so much shit. Like, I never watched any of the fucking movies or whatever. And I know these losers in chat, but like, didn't Steve Jobs do this with some of the like Apple products where they were getting demos that they were literally like trying to hack together code in back rooms to get ready to showcase to audiences like literally minutes before on stream or on stage like demonstrations and stuff? Like, doesn't this happen a lot where people like CEOs and managers and shit are over promising like crazy in the hopes that like engineers can hack together some shit and then hopefully they can actually fix it by the time you're ready to go into production?
I mean, back in the days of Apple, I do remember a scene from a movie where it was something like that, like the demo wasn't working, but I don't think that was like, hey, you know, we're supposed to be selling this in 6 months and we haven't built any of this, and more so like the demo crashed. What the fuck? Okay, just fake it then. I think that's different if you have a working product and you know that you do versus if you have nothing and you're assuming you can do it and still to this date you can't. But yeah, that was the whole point behind this thing, is the fucking Elon simp is to a deranged level. I believe, honestly, that if you had the amount of money that Elon Musk did and I guess the connections he did, I think that you could have made just as good of an electric car company as he did. I don't think that there's any inherent skill.
Oh yeah, because he's not
genius.
like, I don't think he's the best engineer, but he's like a decent business person or whatever, basically.
I think it's at this point it makes me feel that it's all essentially, I don't know, hype, I guess.
You know, do you know who the first person who made me wonder that was? This is gonna sound like I'm simping politically, but honest to God, it was watching Donald Trump. When I watched that motherfucker talk, I'm like, oh my God. I think that you can be born a millionaire and kind of luck your way through being a billionaire through connections. As crazy as that sounds and as much luck as it would require, because this is one dumb motherfucker. Like, I feel like if I had enough connections, I feel like I could be at this level, because this guy is not incredibly smart. And even when talking about real estate, like when he talks about real estate, he knows what he's talking about. But I don't think he's particularly insightful, or it doesn't seem like he does like any absolutely crazy shit. It's more like he has like a lot of really strong connections, and then he's just like in a couple places in kind of a lucky way, but not like some genius developer or something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I concur with you. And I mean, especially real estate is the easiest thing in the world to get richer doing it.
Sure.
You know, even if there's downfalls or upswings or anything, it doesn't matter. If you have a significant portfolio of real estate today, so let's say that you have $1 billion worth of real estate, and that's going to throw off, you know, so it'll throw off between 5 to 10% a year based on how the market is going. So either the market's going good, then you're going to make 10% a year, $100 million, or the market will be shit, and you'll make $50 million a year, okay? Because you own it all, there's no real tax or anything. That is just $100 or $50 million that every year you can now reinvest into buying more real estate. It is not complicated to be successful at real estate when you get to that level of initial inertia.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was basically it.